Hey guys, Jack on Wrist here, back in another video, and in today's video I want to talk about why you should buy a luxury quartz watch. Now the reason for making this video is because recently I purchased a Grand Seiko SBGT035, which is a 9F quartz caliber model, and it made me start thinking about when it's applicable to buy a luxury quartz watch. I know a lot of people are hesitant to buy a quartz watch at a luxury price point, and frankly, I understand that concern. I know that a lot of people don't necessarily see the difference between a quartz movement in something like a Timex and the quartz movement in something like a Grand Seiko. They may not understand that there's a huge separation between those two, and I think honestly a lot of people just have that stereotype in their head that quartz is worse than a mechanical watch. And so in today's video, I just want to address that because I think at the luxury price point you can get some awesome sophisticated quartz watches that are really worth the money. So I just want to run through a bunch of different scenarios in which, in my opinion, buying a luxury quartz watch is worth it. So let's start off with the 9F quartz caliber movement from Grand Seiko. Like I mentioned earlier, I just bought myself a Grand Seiko with a 9F quartz caliber in it, and in my opinion, it is definitely worth it to buy a 9F quartz movement. When you're looking at Grand Seikos with a 9F quartz movement, you're going to be looking at the $1,000 plus price point range, but in my opinion, it is still definitely worth it to buy one of those watches because, you know, the features really there are just so amazing. I mean, 50-year service interval, plus or minus 10 seconds a year accuracy, and I think that you can just tell that there's a lot of craftsmanship in that movement and a lot of innovation, and I think that's the really big question you should be asking yourself every single time you're thinking about buying either a quartz model or an automatic / mechanical model. Just ask yourself, does the quartz model contain as much features or value for money as, you know, something like the mechanical version? And I think when you're talking about Grand Seiko and the 9F quartz movement, it is definitely there. That value for money is there in terms of technology and longevity and just performance. It is definitely there. Another example, in my opinion, when it is definitely a good choice to buy the quartz movement is simply when there is no other option. I mean, take a look at something like the Breitling Aerospace. I mean, there is no other choice there. It's either the quartz model or nothing. And that happens to be a really high-end quartz movement as well. And of course, if you like that watch, even though it's maybe $2,000, $3,000, whatever it is, it's worth it because it's a great watch, it has some great technology, and if you like it, you should buy it. I wouldn't worry about spending multiple thousands of dollars on a quartz watch. Just ask yourself, is there a lot of quality and innovation in there? And if that is yes, then just buy it. Don't worry about whether it's mechanical and the second hand's gonna tick. I just really wouldn't overthink it. I know there's generally a stigma within the watch community that automatic / mechanical timepieces are better than those that have a quartz movement, but that isn't the case. When you're buying something that is so high-end, the highest end quartz movement from something like a Grand Seiko, for example, you know that the innovation and technology and performance is going to be as good, if not better, than anything that has a mechanical movement. And, you know, I think that you just got to forget the fact that the second hand doesn't sweep, and forget the fact that it's not, you know, as romantic with a rotor in the back or whatever. You know, it really is high quality and worth the money as long as you're able to get over that hump that, you know, that it's not going to be a mechanical watch. But let's talk about a situation in which I don't think it's worth it to buy a luxury quartz watch. Let's talk about something like the Omega Aqua Terra. I mean, that's a watch that comes in both a quartz movement and a master coaxial movement. And in my opinion, it is way more worth it to get something like the master coaxial automatic movement because the quartz movement offered by Omega in this case really isn't high end. It really isn't that special. And to pay multiple thousands of dollars for the Aqua Terra, you know, in my opinion, it's worth it to just save up and get that next level, that automatic coaxial movement, because it has so much features on it. It is so well engineered and just super high quality. And like I said, if you ask yourself, is this quartz movement actually, you know, comparable to the automatic, or does it have as much value for money? And the answer is no, especially in this case where the answer is no, just don't get it. And so I think with Omega in this particular example, that's a time where you really shouldn't be buying a luxury quartz watch, because paying multiple thousands of dollars for a quartz movement that really isn't that special is just not worth it. I guess the real lesson to be learned from this video, at least in my personal opinion, is that whenever you're questioning whether or not you should get the quartz version or a mechanical version of a watch, you know, just ask yourself, does that quartz watch or quartz movement have any real value? Is it high quality? If the answer is yes, then go for it. If you want that, you know, if you want that level of performance and timekeeping, obviously if there is only a quartz version of a watch and it is at the luxury price point, then think about it. You know, I really think you should consider it because obviously you want it to be high quality, but you know, there's nothing wrong with quartz. Obviously, that discussion goes way beyond just the luxury space. But I think people should really lose the stigma behind quartz watches, because there are some really high-end quartz watches out there. Just like how there are high-end automatic watches and mechanical watches, there are just as many high-end quartz watches that are going to be worth the money for sure. So that was just my take on a couple of different scenarios when you're thinking about buying a luxury quartz watch. Obviously, in my opinion, you should just think about whether or not the quartz movement has a lot of value to it. Is it really worth it? And I think a lot of times at that luxury price point, it actually will be worth it. But obviously, do your research, make sure that there is some value there, make sure it is a special or well-engineered movement. But let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think. Would you never buy a luxury price point watch that is a quartz watch no matter what? Or would you consider some of these higher end quartz movements? Let me know in the comment section down below what you think. So that's pretty much it for this video. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like and subscribe. Will be greatly appreciated, and I will catch you guys in the next one.